Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Hussnain Ali, teacher A levels chemistry, Chambag School. This is the paper of mock 2 examination, that is paper 1 related to MCQs. In this video, we would be going through 5 MCQs, that is MCQs number 16 to 20. First 15 has been done for you and they are available on YouTube. So for the 16 MCQs, the statement is people who take statin drugs to control their blood cholesterol may also take coenzyme Q10. The diagram shows a simplified structure of one form of this coenzyme. Here is the coenzyme's structure Q10. Which row describes the structure correctly? Here he is asking about the structure of the coenzyme. So for the structure of the coenzyme, we can see that he has given us two columns. The first one is related to the functional group present within the coenzyme Q10. The second one is related to pi bonds within the molecule. So if you would be descriptively watching the structure of the coenzyme Q10, we can see that there is a ketonic functional group present within the coenzyme Q10, because the carbonyl carbon is attached to two carbons. The edges here shows the two carbon. So the functional group present within the coenzyme Q10 is basically ketone. So for the second part, we are left with number of pi bonds that are to be found. Here the side chain of the coenzyme Q10 contains a pi bond. So if one side chain contains one pi bond, the n number of repeated units of the side chain would contain n pi bonds. For total number of pi bonds within the molecule of the coenzyme Q10, it would be becoming n plus 4, because there are 4 further pi bonds within the main structure of the coenzyme, that is the hexagonal part. Here the 2 pi bonds are present within the hexagon, while the 2 pi bonds are in the carbonyl group. So the option that is correct, that is basically our D statement is correct, because the structure of the molecule contains a ketonic group and it has n plus 4 pi bonds present within its molecule. Coming to the 17th MCQs, this MCQs, the 17th one, in this MCQs, he has asked, in the ideal gas equation PV is equal to nRT, what are the units of N and T? This was a simple MCQs. Here N represents the number of moles, so its units is mole, while the T represents the temperature, its unit is Kelvin. So our option D is correct. That is N's unit is mole, while the temperature's unit is Kelvin. In the 18th MCQs, he's asked, sodium azide is an explosive used to inflate airbags in the cars when they crash. It consists of a positive sodium ion and a negative azide ion. What are the numbers of electrons in the sodium ion and the azide ion? Here, the sodium contains one positive charge, while there is one negative charge on the azide part, that is N3 part. So, he has given us the options. For sodium ions, the number of electrons would be 10, because it has lost one electron. Its atomic number is 11. By losing one electron, its total number of electrons which are left in sodium ion are 10. While for the azide ion, it contains 3 nitrogen. The nitrogen has atomic number of 7. So 7 multiplied by 3 becomes 21. While azide ion basically has gained an electron from sodium. So its total number of electrons become 21 plus 2. 21 plus 1 is equal to 22. Basically our B statement is correct, that the azide ion contains 22 electrons, while the sodium ion contains 10 electrons. In the 19th MCQs, he is giving the statement that an autocatalytic reaction is a reaction in which one of the product catalyzes the reaction. Which curve could be obtained if the rate of an autocatalytic reaction is plotted against time? So this is an autocatalytic reaction. In this rate time graph is to be opted for. There are 4 options. The correct option is C. We have already discussed it within our classes, that the rate time graph of the autocatalytic reaction is basically a hump shaped graph. So you can go through the graph and the notes, uh, and you are able to identify the real time graph for the autocatalytic reaction. The option C is basically correct in the 19th MCQs. In the 20th MCQs, this was related to molar calculation. Is asking that 1.15 gram of a metallic element needs 300 centimeter cube of oxygen for complete reaction at 298 Kelvin and 1 atmospheric pressure to form an oxide which contains O2 negative ions. What could be the identity of this metallic element? So he has given the four options: calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium. The right option is D. I have highlighted it in yellow. How to calculate this, or how to identify which element is reacting? I have done the answer part or the solution part here. Here, the sodium would react with oxygen to form a sodium oxide. This is the reaction of sodium with oxygen. So, if 1.15 gram of sodium are taken, the number of moles that comes out to be is equal to 0.05, while 300 centimeter cube of oxygen is equivalent to 0.0125 moles, as 300 centimeter cube divided by 24,000 centimeter cube for the molar gas volume, we can get the number of moles of oxygen that comes out to be 0.0125. So basically, the element that is reacting, it's 0.045 moles are reacting with 0.0125 moles of oxygen. Here he has not given a statement like that any element or compound here is a limiting one. So we can go through the ratios for sodium from the equation. 2 moles of sodium reacts with zero point 0.5 moles of oxygen. So if 0.05 moles of sodium are present, how many moles of oxygen would be needed for this reaction? So if we would be calculating the X from the ratio of sodium and oxygen, it comes out to be 0.0125. That fits in within the statement. So our only option that fits in is basically D, that is sodium. For other ones, A and B, C options, you can try on your own self. The answer would not be coming out to be 0.0125 moles. So our best suited answer or option is D. Thank you.